Hi there, thanks for joining me. In this video, we are going to be talking about the keys to home ownership as part of the first video in our Own It series, where we are walking you through all the steps to get ready and fully prepared for home ownership. We are in the first week of 2021. So if you're watching this video at any time in 2021, you can get in on my Own It program, which will help you totally for free get fully ready for home ownership. So if that's what you're here for, stay tuned. If you like videos about real estate and home ownership and living in the Pacific Northwest, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more. And as always, you guys know I love talking to people who are moving or relocating specifically to the Pacific Northwest. So if that's you, or if you know anyone who is, make sure to have them shoot me a text or a call at 360-818-4438, and I'd love to talk to you. So let's jump right into this video. So today we're talking about the keys to homeownership and the Own It program that I launched, which is really chronicling my personal journey for homeownership, because I realized towards the end of 2020 that a lot of people might have set the goal to own a home in 2020, but got derailed because hello, it was a pandemic. Hello, there's upheaval and just one of the craziest years. Actually, the craziest year in my life. And I asked my mom the same thing, and she's like, this is the craziest year in my life. So we're talking about just the craziest year in decades. I mean, do I really have to go into that? We all know what happened, right? So many people got off track when it came to owning a home. So I wanted to create this program so that we could go through together as a cohort on a path to home ownership. And so today, for the first video in this series, we're talking about what you need to do just to get started. So this is really a step one video to get you in the right mindset, because so many people are more home buyer, home ownership ready than they think. And we all know that whether you think you can or you can't, you're going to be right either way. So if you think you can't, you're right, you can't, because you can't get past that first roadblock, that first hurdle. And if you think you can, you're already one step ahead of everyone who thinks that they can't. So I hope that you're going to join me in the people who know, not think, but who know that they can, and that's what we're going to talk about. So there are 5 tips that I have to get you started on your journey of home ownership. And you really need to follow these to make sure that you get your head out of the sand. Because if you haven't done all of these steps, it's going to be an uphill battle as you progress on your path to home ownership. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to know what our credit score is, because most people are not going out and paying cash for a mortgage. That's just the statistics of it. So you're probably going to end up getting a mortgage. And in order to do that, what do you need to know? Well, you need to know what your credit score is. Do mortgage lenders, do banks even want to lend you money? Are you a good investment? And of course you're worth it, and you know you're a good investment, but we have to prove that to a bank, to a mortgage company. And there's some creative financing that we can talk about in another video if going out and getting a mortgage just absolutely isn't an option for you. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to leave a comment below. But we want to get that credit score. We just want to have knowledge about it, know what it is, not just from the, those free sites that you can put your information in. We want to go to the annualcreditreport.com website. That's going to give you your full report, not a score, because the score is the number part. The report is the list of all of your debts, what you're paid, or do you have closed accounts, do you have collections, are they charged off, do you have judgments against you, anything related to your credit. So that's step one. You're going to want to figure out what's in your credit report. What are mortgage lenders going to find when they're looking at your score? The next thing that you're going to want to do is figure out, well, what are your major credit issues and how long are they going to take to heal? Because, for instance, you can recover a lot easier from one missed payment or one late payment than you can from a bankruptcy. So you're going to want to get a good grasp on what kind of credit issues, if any, you're dealing with and how to overcome them. And if this first step gets you a little down, you do this step and you're like, man, I'm so far off, You don't have to have perfect credit to buy a house. You don't have to have great credit to buy a house. You don't even have to have good credit to buy a house. You can buy a house with average credit. So if you are feeling a little deflated, if you feel like, man, I have bad credit, or it's not a 700, or I wish it was this, or it's not a 600, like whatever the case is, it doesn't even have to be 800. You can buy a house by working on it. It's something that you can work on. You're not stuck with it forever. It's something that you can fix. It's something that you can heal, and you just want to know how to do that and how long it's going to take. Some things are going to take longer than others. Fair enough? Cool. So that was the second thing. Figure out what those credit issues, if any you have, are and how long they take to heal. Number 3, what is your debt to income ratio? How much debt do you have compared to your income? And that's a specific percentage that banks and mortgage companies are going to look at to figure out if you can afford that particular home. So you want to figure out how much house you can afford, basically. That's number 3. Number 4, how much money can you raise? How much money do you have saved for your down payment? A big, big, big myth is that you have to have 20% down to buy a house, and you don't. You can buy a house with 3% down. There are some programs in certain states you can buy a house with 0 money down. You might not even have to bring any money to the closing table, because money down and then closing costs are 2 separate things. And again, if you need more clarification on that, ask me any questions you have below. I'm always happy to answer your questions, and I can do a video about them as well. So you want to figure out how much money can you have and how much money can you raise. Do you have family that owes you money? Maybe you lent money out. Can you spend the next 6 months on a very lean budget so that you can get a bigger down payment, which makes you more attractive to the lenders? So you want to figure out how much money do I have. So credit and your down payment are going to be huge aspects of getting approved for mortgage and ultimately buying a home. That debt to income ratio is going to figure out how much house you can afford. So all of these things are kind of working to interlock together to create that picture of home ownership. And again, the biggest thing here for week 1 is you want to get your head out of the sand. You can't hide from this, but you can fix it. But if you're hiding and you're like, no, can't see you. Oh, debt, no, can't see you. You're never gonna get progress. You're just gonna be stagnant in that same position. And we're gonna go into 2022, you're gonna be in the same position. 2023, 2024, we're gonna have a new president at that point, whoever that might be. And you're gonna be like, man, that whole cycle, like I could have bought a home in 2021 if I had just picked my head up out of the sand and faced it head on. And I know that's scary, which is why I put together this Own It program, so that you can do it in a community and a group of other people and know that we're all going through this together, including me. And for our last example, this is tip number 5, which is know the programs that are available in your state. In my previous video, we talked about some of the different programs that are available when you're a first time or a first time in a long time home buyer. And those programs can come in the form of grants or loans. So for example, in my home state of Washington, there are 2 main programs. There's the Home Advantage program and the Opportunity program, which are statewide programs, and the average down payment assistance that a typical home buyer gets is about $10,000, and you just have to make a household income of less than $145,000 a year. So that's an example. There's different programs in every state and even different programs in certain counties. So for instance, in Southwest Washington, there's a kick-ass program up in Seattle, but it doesn't apply to people who live where I live, which is Vancouver, Clark County, Southwest Washington. So it's very local to your state, but it can also be local down to the county level. So you want to make sure to really do your research and talk to a very good, very, very good mortgage lender who can help you determine what those programs are and if you're eligible, because it's worth going after if it makes that jump, that journey into homeownership even just a little easier. Yes or yes, right? So those are my first 5 tips to get you started to owning it, owning your own home, owning your future, owning that piece for you of your home, your abode, the place that you call home. If you're paying rent and you're losing money every month because you're not picking up any equity and you're paying for your landlord or this big management company you're paying their property taxes, you're paying their mortgage, you're paying, all the maintenance. People act like when I'm renting, oh, well, I don't have to worry about maintenance. Well, don't you think that all these companies, anyone who's renting out a home or a unit, they're factoring that into the price of your rent. So you're paying for it, but it's like free shipping. You're paying for it, it's just included in the cost. And you're paying for their profit. So not only are they gaining equity every month, but they're making money on your rent payment. Imagine what it's like if you could reduce your rent payment, because, gosh, for so many people, again, highly specific to the area you live in, but you might be paying less to own a home than it is for rent. So you want to keep that in mind. So I could go on and on, as you can see, but I want you to go ahead right now and subscribe to this channel. Get in on our Own It program. Leave a comment below. Say you want to be in on our Own It program. You can text me or email me your email address and I will add you to the program. Text number is 360-818-4438 or email me at hal.byrd@exprealty.com and I'll make sure that you get in so that you can own it in 2021. See you guys on the next video. Bye.